with a slur that I found impossible to understand. Indeed, I responded, showing little regard. It wasn't that way previously. I chose to remain silent, because I understood that Solomon was not the one who had transformed. It was I. Alonso returned to his phone, diving back into it without posing any further inquiries. He absent-mindedly chewed. I glided my fingers through his coat. He slowly turned his head, and gazed at me. He gazed at me with the same fervor as ever. In that instant, I made my choice, the following day, as Alonso departed. Rather than remaining at home, I grabbed Salomon's belt and unlocked the door. The brisk morning air struck my bare skin beneath the jacket. The streets of Valencia unfolded before me. Vibrant and bustling, seemingly oblivious to my presence, yet, for the first time in ages, I found myself yearning to truly embrace life. We strode away with determination. I found myself moving at a quicker pace than normal, almost unconsciously. I chose not to glance behind me. At times, the sole path to discovering who you are is to shut the door and walk away. The morning chill brushed against my skin as I stepped through the door, Solomon walking beside me. The air carried the crisp scent of winter in Valencia. A subtle blend of dampness intertwined with the distant salty fragrance of the sea. We strolled aimlessly, without a predetermined path, without contemplating excessively. Merely sensing the rhythm of our strides shattering the dullness of recent times. The cobblestones of the ancient streets echoed beneath my black leather boots. I donned a lengthy beige wool coat, tailored at the waist, paired with a light gray dress that accentuated my silhouette. The ensemble was finished with exquisite socks and medium-heeled boots, striking a balance between elegance and comfort. I sensed a shift within me, as though something had stirred to life this morning. Solomon moved quietly, not tugging at the strap, taking his time. Words were unnecessary for us. He comprehended. Or at least, that was the narrative he wished to embrace. We departed from the neighborhood and ventured into the narrowest streets of the old town. We walked by quiet cafes, their doors still shut, and small shops that were just starting to lift their stalls. At some point, without realizing it, we found ourselves in the El Torria garden. That vast green expanse that weaves through the city, where life appeared to flourish more organically than within the stark confines of my home. I settled onto a stone bench, allowing the gentle morning sun to warm my face. Solomon reclined beside me, ever watchful. I closed my eyes, savoring for the first time in a long while something as simple as just being present. Free from haste, free from the mundane, the sound of heels approaching caught my attention. As I opened my eyes, a woman came into view before me. She was tall, her slender and elegant silhouette captivating, adorned in a burgundy coat that beautifully contrasted with her loose brown hair, styled with a casual yet meticulously intentional flair. Her red lips formed a smile as our eyes locked. "Apologies, I couldn't resist admiring your dog. It's lovely," he remarked with a lyrical tone, unmistakably Valencian. "Thank you," I responded with a subtle smile. She bowed to Solomon, fearless and resolute. He softly glided his fingers along the fabric of his thick coat, closing his eyes with a contented sigh. It felt peculiar. Solomon was not one to readily embrace the presence of unfamiliar faces. "There's something unique about you, isn't there?" the woman remarked, glancing up at me with an inquisitive look. "Indeed," I whispered, uncertain of how to respond. She observed me for a moment, as if she could decipher something on my face that I had not yet recognized. "I'm Alba, by the way." She finally introduced herself. "Elena," I responded, gripping her hand tightly. Her touch was steady and inviting, accompanied by a breath of assurance that sent a thrill through my skin. I was uncertain about the reason. We lingered in silence for a moment. Then, Alba offered another smile. "I consistently stroll around this area at this hour. If one day you feel like company," she said in a casual tone, though her eyes conveyed a different message. She gave me one final glance before pivoting and walking away, the sound of her heels echoing on the floor. Solomon watched her intently, mirroring my gaze. Something within me stirred. That afternoon, when I got back home, Alonso still hadn't shown up. I indulged in a leisurely shower, allowing the warm water to soothe every muscle in my body. Alba's image flashed in my mind without warning, her smile lingering, the way her eyes seemed to pierce right through me. She possessed an undeniable quality that captured my attention. Upon stepping out of the shower, I paused before the mirror. I examined myself closely, something I hadn't done in quite a while. My damp hair clung to my shoulders. My lips, bare of makeup, appeared more subdued than usual. I gazed at my own reflection, my eyes tracing the contours of my clavicles, the gentle curve of my hips concealed beneath the towel. I pressed my lips together. How long had it been since I last felt desired? I let out a deep breath and I dressed myself with a sense of calm, thoughtfully selecting each piece of clothing. I slipped into a set of black lingerie that hugged my form just right, a choice I once made frequently but had gradually set aside over the years. Then, a fitted dress of deep blue velvet that highlighted my fair skin beautifully. I hadn't intended to venture out, yet I craved a sense of well-being for myself. Alonso showed up late, just like always. Upon entering, he didn't even glance at the phone. He collapsed onto the sofa, unbuttoning his tie with a reflexive motion. His white shirt bore a hint of wrinkles, and the glow of the TV cast a chill over his face, creating stark reflections. I rested against the doorframe of the living room, observing him intently. "How did your day go?" I inquired. "As always." I pivoted and strolled deliberately toward the room. I was certain he wouldn't come after me. When I shut the As I closed the door, I sensed Salomon's gaze lingering from the corridor. I reclined in bed and beckoned him with a subtle motion. He came forward, as he always did, with an unwavering serenity. "You are the only one who truly sees me," I whispered, gently stroking his head. He rested his snout on my lap, and in that moment, his warmth enveloped me, easing my sense of solitude. I shut my eyes and inhaled deeply. "Tomorrow, I will return to the park. Tomorrow, I shall encounter her once more," and a feeling deep within me whispered that this would alter everything. The morning sun shimmered against the bluish hues of the Valencian facades, as I strolled once more through the winding streets. Today, I focused more on my appearance. I styled my hair in a high bun, allowing a few loose strands to frame my face. I donned a light coat of caramel-colored cashmere, a satin dress that glided gently over my skin, complemented by dark socks and slender-heeled boots. I appreciated the way the fabric embraced my body, while the cold air caressed my bare neck. It was an experience, vibrant. Salomon strode beside me, commanding attention with his deliberate and confident pace. There was something in his gaze that conveyed a deep understanding. Today was not just another day. Upon our arrival at the Turia garden, I found Alba leaning against a railing, her gaze fixed on the gentle flow of the artificial river. She exuded the same flawless charm as before. Adorned with a black necktie and a gray scarf that draped around her neck with effortless grace, upon seeing me, he smiled as though he had been anticipating my arrival. "Elena." He uttered my name with a familiarity that sent a chill down my spine. What a remarkable sense of timing. "We departed at dawn," I responded, gently stroking Salomon's coat to keep my mind occupied. "I'm pleased you did." His gaze moved over me with a deliberate slowness, not like that of a hungry man, but with the calm appreciation of someone who relishes the intricacies. We strolled side by side, taking our time as we navigated the muddy paths, the crisp leaves crackling beneath our steps. Alba spoke with a measured tone, her Valencian accent weaving a captivating spell over me. It wasn't merely the words he chose, but the manner in which he expressed them. His laughter danced in the air, effortless and bright, as if every word held a secret layer of meaning that only she could decipher. At a certain moment, his hand brushed against my wrist. It was a subtle, unintentional brush, yet I sensed the warmth of his skin pressed against mine, a jolt that coursed through my spine with an inexplicable fervor. I kept my hand where it was, and she appeared to feel the same way. No requiria de palabras. Ella lo sabía. Alba volvió con los cafés, y me paso uno en un vaso de cartón caliente. Donde se encuentra tu perro? Cuestiono de pronto. Parpadi y observe me in torno. Salaman y no se encontraba. Me levanta inmediato con una sensación inusual en el abdomen. No es propio de el desaparecer así. Debe estar cerca, murmur. Aunque una sensación de presión se instaló en mi pecho, mis ojos exploraron el parque hasta que lo encontré. Permanece quieto en un extremo del camino. Con la mirada fija en un banco de piedra donde una persona se encuentra sentada. Al acercarme, el air pareció enfriarse. Ali, con un cigarrillo entre los dedos, se encontraba Alonso. Su mirada no se posaba en mí, sino en Salomón, quien continuaba observándolo con la misma intensidad inquietante que solía tener en casa en hogar que él se expresara. ¿Qué estás haciendo aquí? Inquirí. Con los brazos cruzados. Alonso soltó el humo con serenidad. Podría hacer la misma pregunta. Silencio. No me agradaba su tono. Había en su comportamiento una pesadez que no conseguía entender, mientras caminaba. Respondí con indiferencia. Su mirada descendió con suavidad hacia mi vestido, y luego volvió a encontrar mis ojos. ¿Qué hiciste muchas majoras? Para un paseo, entran al lugar. Su observación no era un elogio ni un reproche. Se trataba de un examen. Un cálculo. Con un tono que no me agradó. Y luego se marchó. Me quedé allí, observando su silueta desvanecerse entre los árboles, con el eco de sus palabras resonando en mi mente. Resonando en mi mente. Ten cuidado, Salomón se acercó y posó su hocico en mi mano. Regres la vista hacia atrás, donde Alba nos contemplaba desde lejos, ella sonrió, esa expresión de alegría, period. Diversa. Y por primera vez en mucho tiempo sentí que estaba a punto de adentrarme en algo de lo que quizás no podría escapar. Esa noche, la tensión seguía presente en el ambiente de mi apartamento. Me senté frente a ella, cruzando las piernas con serenidad, aunque por dentro estaba lejos de sentirme en paz. La conversación inició de manera amena, entre sorbos de vino y risas contenidas. Sin embargo, Alba no era de los que se entretenían con rodeos. Tu marido no me gusta, expresó de repente, con una sinceridad que me dejó atenido, levant la vista, perpleja. ¿Por qué afirmas eso? ¿Por qué te observa como si fueras un artículo en su colección? No, como una mujer, algo en su tono me erizó la piel. ¿Cómo debería verme entonces? Hice la pregunta en un suave murmullo. Alba se inclinó levemente sobre la mesa, acortando la distancia entre nosotras. ¿De qué manera te estoy observando en este momento? El se tornó más denso. Percibí su fragancia. La profundidad de su mirada enigmática. Intent contestar, pero mis labios se mantuvieron cerrados. Su rodilla se deslizó suavemente contra la mía bajo la mesa. Y no me apartes. Al regresar a casa. La sensación de su toque umbrelaba en mi piel. Me quite los tacones con un suspiro y me dejé caer en el sofá. Fue en ese instante cuando percibí la figura de Alonso en el umbral de la puerta. Se me aceleró el pulso. ¿Dónde te encontrabas? Interrogó con un tono imparcial. No contestó con resentimiento ni con envidia, resultó ser un más desafiante. Se llevó a cabo con desconfianza. Disfrutando de una bebida con una amiga. El entrecerró los ojos. Compañera. Conserve la serenidad. Desde cuando te importa con quien salgo. Su mandíbula se tensó. Se quedó en silencio unos segundos, mirándome de un modo que hizo que mi piel se erizara. desde cuando comenzaste en actuar de manera distinta. Dejé que la saliva se deslizara por mi garganta. Salomón, que hasta ese momento había permanecido en su rincón, se levantó con lentitud, como si percibiera la tensión que flotaba en el ambiente. Alonso gazed at him, después me observó a mí. Ten cuidado, Elena, susurró se marchó a la habitación, dejándome con el estómago revuelto. Algo no estaba bien. Algo estaba a punto de quebrarse. El apartamento se hallaba sumido en una tranquilidad perturbadora. No era el silencio habitual, el de la rutina, el del tedio. Era algo más denso, impregnado de electricidad. Como si el aire estuviera en un paso de estallar. Después del encuentro con Alonso, me quedé en la sala, con la copa de vino en la mano y la mente dando vueltas. Salomón se acercó a mí, apoyando su enorme cabeza en mi muslo. Su mirada mantenía la constancia de siempre, sabía y leal, aunque también poseía un air inquietante. Algo sucederá, no murmur. Deslizando mis dedos a través de su densa pelaje. No estoy seguro de si esperaba una respuesta. Me levant y camin hacia el dormitorio. La puerta se encontraba entreabierta, dentro, Alonso yacía. Alonso no pronunció palabra alguna, pero podía sentir su mirada sobre mí. Me contactaba en momentos imprevistos. Se manifestaba en sitios donde antes no se lo veía. Me estaba estudiando. Sin embargo,